My smoker's cough.
Oh.
No, you're fine.
Me too. I've got the same thing. We're all good.
Right. Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kaleidoscope of Crime. And I haven't done this in a while. Well, actually, I kind of did it last week, but I didn't realize that my internet was out and I was talking to myself. So we're going to do this all over again. PJ and I had tried to do it. I got kicked out, and then later on, I tried to do it by myself, and I was talking to myself the whole time. It was a fabulous show, though. I did a good job.
Right.
Not that anyone will ever know.
Right. I've been there, done that.
I do not know how long I talked to myself. I was probably 3/4 of the way through the article, and then all of a sudden I decided to go check on the chat and check on YouTube, and I realized there was nothing happening.
Yeah, I know. I checked it. I was like, oh no, she's not there.
Yeah, I felt so bad. And it turns out I had the data turned off on my telephone.
Oh, geez.
And I didn't realize it, so I couldn't even. I was trying to get a hold of you in Messenger on my phone, and that wasn't working either. My husband got home and he looked at my phone and says, "Well, your data's turned off, so you can't do anything," because the internet was completely out. But we got her fixed. We're good to go.
That is good. Awesome. I hate the internet because I used to have internet problems all the time when I first started doing all of this.
Oh, so did I. I actually had it go down for like 2 months right after my first show.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, it took 2 months to get it fixed again. And then it was really, really good. And then it was just, I guess there was a power surge and it knocked out my internet completely.
Oh, gosh.
So now we have extra surge protectors. So if that happens again, we know how to fix it. We are ready.
Right. That's good. Very, very good.
I don't know if anyone is actually watching. I don't see anyone in the chat yet, but I guess we could go ahead and get started.
Yeah, I think 2 people are watching or something.
Well, one of them is me.
Well, I know it's hard with YouTube because all of a sudden, like, I'll have like 2 people, then I'll have like 15 people. So it's hard. It's hard to tell.
It is. And sometimes I will see you say, I've got so many people watching, and I'll look at the number and it's completely different on my screen.
Yeah.
Not that it matters what my screen says, I guess, but
Okay. It's weird how it works.
So we're going to go through an article from, oops, I'm not fully. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we're going to look at the Vancouver is Awesome article I found about the Jack family who disappeared in 1989. And then we have some other articles we want to look at as well. So, but we'll start there. This one was done by Eve Lazarus on January 23rd of this year, which is why I wanted to start with it because it's the most recent. Eve Lazarus actually has a podcast. If I could remember the name of it, that would be beautiful because she is awesome. I'm not sure. But it's a Canadian true crime podcast and it's really, really good.
Oh, nice.
She's actually a British lady, but she lives in BC, and she is a retired reporter, and she just does a phenomenal job on her podcast. She's also an author of Vancouver true crime books. Just really, really great lady. So that's who did this article. I really respect her work and trust her work. So shout out to Eve Lazarus. So I guess I just read this. Relatives have not given up on getting answers about what happened to Ronnie, Doreen, Ryan, and Russell Jack. And this is Doreen and Ryan, their oldest son. And there's only 2 pictures in here. We'll look at the other one. This is the entire family. We have Doreen, Ronnie, Russell, and Ryan. As you can see, the boys were quite young.
Yeah, how old was the little one?
I believe 2.
Okay.
It will come up in the article underneath.
All right.
On August 1st, 1989, Ronnie Jack, 26, was at the First Leader pub, which was apparently kind of the local dive bar in Prince George, and it was only about 4 blocks from his home. While there, he got to talking to a man in his late 30s who offered Ronnie and his wife Doreen temporary jobs at a logging camp. Since they didn't own a car, they would leave with the man that night. Ronnie called his mother Mabel and told her that they would be working in the Klukults Lake area. He would be bucking logs, and Doreen would work as a cook's helper in the camp kitchen. The kids would go with them. Ronnie said they would be gone for around 10 days and would be back long before Russell had to be back in school. As weeks went by with no word from the family, Mabel Jack reported the family missing to the RCMP. The time factor was a major obstacle. Witness reports are notoriously unreliable, and after that much time, it would be even harder to nail down a timeline or to find a reliable description of the suspect and his vehicle. Several theories have circulated over the years. At first, police believed the family was most likely involved in an accident, the vehicle hidden in dense bushes off of the side of a road. But if that was the case, wouldn't you think there would have been another missing person?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was reading a few of these articles that they have on this family.
Like, why would you jump? I mean, well, I guess it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, so then you'd need to find out who else is missing to figure out what vehicle you're looking for.
Yeah. That's what makes it so
Anyway,
complex.
pardon?
I said that's what makes some of these cases so complex.
Yeah. Sorry, I will probably break in once in a while with my little sidebars, and you can feel free to do the same. Where was I now? Oh, yeah. But the area was thoroughly searched, and the unidentified driver, the man who offered them the job, would also likely have been reported missing by his family or his employer, but no reports ever came in. A second theory was that the job offer was real, but it wasn't legal. Something went wrong, and the family was killed. Another darker theory was that the kids were the target all along. The parents were quickly and quietly subdued and killed, and the kids taken by sex traffickers. Doreen's younger sister Marlene searched for the Jacks in Vancouver, and Mabel searched for them in the Prince George area. When her sister first went missing, Marlene says that the RCMP told her that if she went to the media, they wouldn't talk to her about their investigation. Okay, I will hold my opinion on that till later.
Okay.
Sorry, that makes me angry when I hear stuff like that. She believed them, and for a long time she stayed silent. But, tired of being stonewalled, Marlene was determined to get some answers. Over the years, she has hassled police, taken her story to the media, and started a Facebook group called Missing JackFamily out of Prince George, which I have linked in the show notes, which at the present time has about 3,700 followers. If you have any information about the Jack family's disappearance, please contact the Prince George RCMP at 250-561-3300 or Crime Stoppers 1-800-222-8477. And she's also got her podcast linked in here, her podcast episode. She did on it, which is probably a million times better than anything I'm going to do about it. So anybody feel free to go listen. Here it is. Cold Case Canada True Crime Podcast is what it's called. So if anyone's interested, go check her out. She's awesome. She's very professional. I am not. I'm just a person.
Hold on a second. Yep, this volume, BC. Are you sure you can hear it? Can't hear us?
Oh, she can't hear me?
Hold on. I turned on my volume.
No.
I know I can hear you.
Let me.
Hold on. You say something again because I can check real quick. Go ahead.
Okay, I just turned up my volume. Is that better?
Yeah, you're good. She said, okay, just me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hope it's just her. Now I'm nervous. Should I go back and read that again? Or, well, we're going to go into some other stuff, so we'll cover it all again anyway.
Yeah. You're good.
Okay.
It happens.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment here while I look for I thought I had the tabs up. They disappeared on me. So I guess the basic overview is that on August 12th, 1989, they all got into the car with that guy because he offered Ronnie and Doreen both jobs, and that was late at night too. Okay, so we're gonna go to
what I was curious about, because they said that could have been like a false job, and there's nowhere that like it could have been and it could not have been a false job, and there's nowhere that you can actually like check. You know what I mean?
If I can get my newspapers.com subscription straightened out, I'd like to go back to older articles to see if there's anything said about whether there really was a camp job up in that area or not.
Yeah.
Like whether there was a camp operating there at the time.
That definitely would be interesting.
Yeah. From the contemporary articles I've seen, they said there wasn't. But I'd like to go back to the old articles and verify.
Yeah. Because that makes me wonder a lot.
It does.
Because what if it was kind of like a setup in a way? You know what I mean? Like for something.
Yeah.
Because you just never know. Because maybe like it could have been an abduction or something in that sense, because of the fact the younger children, but then you have the two adults. And the two adults haven't been, found in any way. Like they haven't been found murdered or anything like that.
And really, even if the boys were trafficked that many years ago, you'd think they would have turned up in some form or fashion since then.
Right. That's why it just doesn't make sense to me.
Like if anyone had lived through that circumstance, you'd think they would have been found by now. So these are age-enhanced photos of the Jack family. Doreen, Ronald, oh boy, Russell, and what was the other boy's name?
Oh my goodness. My brain's like dirt right now. Oh gosh. What was his name?
Just had it and oh boy. Russell and Ryan. Ryan was 4 at the time. You asked how old he was.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is Russell and that's Ryan. Like Russell on the left and Ryan on the right, I think. These are the age-enhanced photos of them.
They made them look, the father at least, they made him look really, really chunky.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They didn't with Doreen, though.
Right. I wonder why. Maybe family background or something.
That could be, yep. So here we go.
A little bit thinner than that.
But you can, maybe it's because of the shape of his face. It is a little bit rounder to begin with. But yeah, maybe it is a family trait to put on a little bit of weight with age, like it is in my family.
Yeah.
So here is Unsolved Canada. This is a site I use quite a lot. So I guess we'll read through this. On Tuesday, August 1st, 1989, Ronnie Jack left the First Leader pub in Prince George, BC, feeling hopeful. At 26 years old, Ronnie had been out of work due to a back injury, and the Jack family had been living on welfare, which is not living at all. Don't give you enough to survive, that's for sure. Someone at the bar that night offered to help. The man told Ronnie about a job opportunity for him and his wife Doreen at a logging camp or ranch in the Klukalts Lake area, about 40 kilometers west of Prince George. So really only 40 kilometers. That would be a little under 20 miles. So that's really not that far that they were going either. So that would kind of make you feel a little safer if you're still fairly close, right?
Yeah.
And from what I'd read, they were living with her sister at the time. So, they were in a really difficult place at the time. And so it's kind of understandable how they would have been very vulnerable and an easy target for him.
Yeah. Yeah, because they wanted, they needed money. They needed to feed their kids.
And school was coming up for Russell, so they needed school supplies for him. And, so heart really goes out to them. It really does.
And you know what? I was looking at the picture, not to interrupt very badly.
But, that's okay. I interrupted myself first, so there you go.
The black and white picture, if you look, he does have kind of like chunky cheeks. So maybe that's why. I'm still stuck on why they made him chubby. But I think that's why, because he has the chubby cheeks.
Yeah, that's what I meant by the rounder face. Is like, chubby cheeks. That's the word for it. Thank you.
No problem.
Excuse me. Sorry.
That's all right. All right, I'll be good.
So it was about 40 kilometers west of Prince George, past Bednesty. Ronnie was offered a job bucking logs, and Doreen would have a job as the cook's helper in the camp kitchen. The man told Ronnie the camp even had a daycare for the couple's two sons, Russell, who was 9, and Ryan, who was 4. The Jacks didn't have a car, so the man offered to drive them to the job site, and these photos are of the First Leader pub. Purple. Oh, very pretty.
That is kind of pretty. It's different. Oh, it has a little.
I like look at the bug on top, the car on the roof.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I'm like, oh, it has a little car.
There used to be a truck stop here that they actually had a big rig up on a pedestal right behind the building that when you drive by, it looked like the 18-wheeler was sitting on the roof of the restaurant.
Oh, that's different. Very creative.
He's got a bulldozer right by his house.
Yeah. And he's the same guy that owned that at the time. He also had a bulldozer on a pedestal up in like 30 feet in the air in front of his house, too. Okay. Anyway, side note that has nothing to do with the show.
Right.
Not sure why that yellow car made me think of all that, but it did.
It's all good.
So the next bit is a repeat, so I'm just going to skip over that. Right. Ronald Jack had worked at a sawmill before, but he'd hurt his back and was unemployed. So he had the work experience for this to make sense to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the time of the family's disappearance, they were living on welfare.
Oh, did you see that at 11:16 that he called his brother and informed him about the camp job?
Is that in this article or is that?
Yeah, that's in this article.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's where I was getting to next. Yep. Oh, you got ahead of me.
I was like, hold on, I didn't see that before when I was reading this. But
oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I did. Interesting because I was like, you know,
I did forget that he called his brother. I remember that he called his mom.
I wonder why he made sure they knew, though. That's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, if they're a close family, that would make sense, right?
True.
If you're going to be gone for 10 days, you're going to let your family know where and why, right?
Yeah.
At 11:16 at night, Ronnie called his brother and told him about the camp job. And then 2 hours later, so that would have been like 1:16 in the morning, he called his parents in Burns Lake and told them that they would be at the site for 10 to 14 days and would be home by the time school began. The man waited for Ronnie, Doreen, Russell, and Ryan to pack their belongings, and around 1:21, which is a very precise time, on August 2nd, 1989, all 4 members of the Jack family were seen leaving their home at 2116 Strathcona Avenue and piling into the man's 4-wheel drive dark-colored pickup truck. They were never seen again. So this is the apartments where they were at when this all happened, on Strathcona Avenue.
That's so interesting. This job and this guy is really suspect. Like, in this case, like...
Well, yeah, like my dad worked in logging, and I've never heard of them having a daycare.
Right. That's like he was really trying to...
Being gone 10 to 14 days at camp, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And even hiring on the spot, that makes sense to me, especially back then. But the daycare part is what what runs red flags for me.
Right, because usually at like construction jobs and like logging, like all those outside jobs don't really usually have that type of stuff there.
No, you don't usually take the kids.
No, like that's usually like danger zone, like hard hats, like
Exactly. Yeah, I have never known anyone who worked in any sort of a camp like that took their kids to work with them.
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No.
So this guy really is suspicious in this, and they don't have like the weird part is like they have all these accurate timings, like times,
Yeah.
but they have no clue who this guy is. Like
No.
that's
They
like
have not tracked him down at all. And it's interesting that the people know the precise time, but nobody looked at the license plate.
yeah. So how do you know exactly what?
And that's not me criticizing them at all.
Right.
It's just interesting.
Mm.
So the family was officially reported missing on August 25th. I believe it was July 12th that they had left. So their disappearance is the first and only of its kind in Canadian history, meaning it's the only full family disappearance.
Yeah.
Although there is a disappearance I covered on my podcast of 3 boys and their father that was a parental abduction. So that's fairly close.
Right.
But this is the only...
because it's a mom, dad, and the kids.
Yeah, this is the only one where both parents and the children have gone missing and never been found. The most significant tip didn't come in until 7 years later, and that was on a Sunday morning in January, on the 28th of January 1996 at 8:33 in the morning. A man in Stony Creek, BC called Vanderhoof police with a brief message. The JackFamily are buried in the south end of Redacted Ranch. It was over in 10 seconds. The caller had hung up before the dispatcher could ask any questions. Investigators published several appeals in local newspapers asking the person to call again and planned to release the recording of the caller's voice if they didn't. In March of 1996, the voice recording was analyzed by the University of British Columbia. And although police were eventually able to trace the call to a house in Vanderhoof, it turned out there was a house party that was happening at the time.
Oh, jeez.
So it's unclear if the caller was ever identified, and it was the first tip of its kind in their disappearance.
Nice. That is kind of like, what if it was a prank? But that's kind of a weird prank to be doing at a party. But,
well, yeah, but if you're at a party, you're under the influence, and you tend to do stupid things when you're under the influence, right?
That's true.
I know I do.
Right? They could have been dared to do it. Very odd.
Yeah. Or it could have been valid. We don't know. Since
Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just reading a little bit of that they did hundreds of interviews. Who did they interview? Like,
well, I know they would have interviewed all of the bar patrons that night, right?
Oh, yes, okay. I get it.
And all of the family on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And then if anybody saw Ronnie and this man leaving the bar, or saw the man sitting out in front of the apartment building. So that could run into quite a few people right there.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Since the investigation began, the RCMP have conducted hundreds of interviews, obtained thousands of documents related to the case, and have searched several properties in search of Ronald, Doreen, Russell, and Ryan. The most recent search for the Jack family took place in 2019 at a property south of Vanderhoof on the Saikoots First Nation Reserve. Ground penetrating radar and heavy equipment were used. No trace of the Jack family has ever been found. So here's a map of everything. This is the apartment here. Pardon?
Is the dog getting jealous?
He wants outside, and apparently my husband can't hear that he needs to go out.
Oh, okay.
He's whining to me instead.
I was like, is he getting jealous that you're talking to us and not him?
Probably. I'm surprised he's not trying to climb in my face. So the red marker is the apartment, and the orange marker is that Klukult's Lake, where the job offer was supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
And the blue marker is Vanderhoof, BC, which is where the call was made from. And then the pink marker is where the ranch was that the guy said.
Where the job is.
They were buried. And that's where they searched for 3 days.
Mel's dog is looking for him.
Oh, is she? That's funny. I can't see the chat right now. I am going to come back into StreamYard for a second and mute myself.
All right. Do you want me to just read a little bit about the suspect while you take care of the dog real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
All right. So the suspect, the description of the man who offered the job to Ronnie. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, I'm unmuted. I was like, let me make sure I'm unmuted. Ronnie at the First Leader pub was compiled from statements by two witnesses, one in 1989, the other in 1990. The man is the prime suspect in the family's disappearance. When she comes back, I will have her share the picture. He was described as Caucasian, 6 foot to 6'6" feet tall, with reddish brown hair, a short full beard and mustache. His hair went to the bottom of his ears and was parted on one side. In 1989, he was 35 to 40 years old and approximately 200 to 275.
You still alive?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to share his picture, the suspect picture?
Yeah, I'm trying to get back there.
Oh, okay. He was wearing a baseball cap, a red checkered work shirt, faded blue jeans, a waist-length blue nylon jacket, and work boots with leather fringes over his toes. Over 30 years have passed. The Jack family's fate and the identity of the man from the First Leader pub remains unknown. Let me see.
So this is the sketches of the man, which are both very, very similar.
Yeah, I'm going to scroll up and look real quick. Wow. Yeah, they are very similar. This one has, that's kind of, what are they trying to do? Like a sketch, like a age progressed sketch as well as like the regular sketch? Is that what?
Well, I don't know, because they were only about a year apart.
Right.
It could be that they just got different descriptions from different people, right?
But they are very, very, very similar.
They are. It just almost looks more like, more shadowing under the eyes on the left.
Yeah.
And he's more scraggly in the right-hand photo.
That's interesting how people can do photos like sketches like that. I can't draw or anything.
No, me neither. An artist I am not.
Right, me neither. Right, so Doreen, Ann, and Ronald Paul. Jack. Oh, okay, so this kind of goes through. The next thing is just all their informations, like each one singly.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have Doreen is, she was born in 1963. She was 26 when she disappeared in 1989. So, oh, I wish I'd done the math on this.
Let me pull out, I'll do the calculator. I'm not good at math, so let's see. So 2023.
So it's been 34 years, so that would put her about 60, I think.
Yes, 60.
So she's 5 feet 2 inches tall. She has black hair, brown eyes. She's Indigenous, and she weighed 110 pounds. And here's Ronnie Jack. He was also 26, so same age. Yep. So he also would only be 60 if still alive. Male, Indigenous, black hair, brown eyes, 5 feet 6 inches tall, 150 pounds.
And then
Ryan Paul Jack and Russell Fabian Jack. These are the boys. This would be Ryan, I believe. This is Ryan. He's 4 years old.
He's 27.
At the time. Pardon?
Wouldn't he be? No, he wouldn't be 27. He would be.
No, it's been 34 years, so he would be
37.
38. 38.
30, oh, okay, 38. I can't add, okay.
Usually I can't either. I think he would be around 38. And basically a very similar description. Black hair, brown eyes. He's a boy, obviously. 3 feet 3 inches tall at the time. 55 pounds at the time, but of course that would have changed. And then this is Russell Jack. I just love his eyes. I don't know what it is. He's got nice eyes.
Yeah, he has like a personality all in his face.
Yeah, he does. He does. He looks pretty cheeky. So he was 88 pounds, 4 feet tall, black hair, brown eyes, 9 years old at the time. So he would be 34 plus 9. That would make him 43? Roughly?
Roughly, yeah. Roughly. I can't add tonight, so I'm not even trying.
Okay.
I'm trying, but I'm like, hold on, is it 43? And I gave up on the calculator.
And it's good to see you, Mel. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Sorry we had to leave your show so abruptly. And for any information, which is the point of doing this, so we'll make sure we cover it. Prince George RCMP 250-561-3300. Reference case number 1989-28607. And as always, you can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS or go online to canadiancrimestoppers.org/tips, or you can email the National Centre for Missing Persons and Unidentified Remains at Canada's Missing I do
Yeah.
not speak French. Disparu Canada at rcmp-grc.gc.ca. Wow, that's a mouthful. Case reference 201-400-2868.
Yeah, the French word's kind of not my thing.
Mine either. And someone has been a smarty pants and been doing some of the writing for expired products in French.
Oh, jeez.
So when I go to do my markdowns, I have to translate.
Oh my goodness. That's so hard to do. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't have
Instead
the
of ginger ale, they wrote gingembre, and I'm like, huh?
right. I would be like, no.
What is gingembre?
Right. The boss would not like me too much.
No.
Oh my Linda.
And I want to say hi to Sluggy if she's still here.
She said she's going to the casino.
Yeah, but she does say that she was taking us with her. I wonder if we're winning anything. Maybe
Right.
we're her good luck charm.
I'm gonna have to ask her later if we won. How much did we win?
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're not bad luck.
Right.
So theories in the case were basically, like we said earlier, either they were all kidnapped and murdered right then and there, or the boys were possibly trafficked.
Yeah, the boys being trafficked and what the parents being murdered.
Yep. But either way, it sounds like they're really erring on the side of foul play.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I haven't really heard a lot of speculation that they might be still alive other than the age progression photos. And it does seem unlikely for 4 people to still be alive that not one of them would turn up again, right?
Yeah, it's very unlikely. Like,
Yeah. But unfortunately, there really just is not a lot of information out there. I did look at I started to look at the Facebook page that the sister made. Am I still sharing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'd have to scroll way down further and then just work my way up for it to make sense. It's really not making sense to me right now. But here is their Facebook page. This is done by her sister. I can't remember which one. And it is still very active. Well, not very, very active. But I mean, there is still stuff.
Well, that's good that she's still keeping their name out there. You
Like
know what I mean?
January 28th, I believe, was somebody did a TikTok on them, and it's in here. And then there's this, I'm not sure. Maria, that's the sister that does it. Okay. I'm not sure what this is here. I have a hard time making sense of some of this stuff sometimes.
Oh, I don't know what that is. That could be just screenshots of some kind of article or something.
Yeah. Here is an update on some sort of a meeting they had. Sounds like it was probably with the RCMP. They said they are still having info coming in, and they are looking at places from the beginning of the investigation. They are looking into the information I asked them to look into. They are still waiting for that to come back. This was June 29th, 2022, by the way. So
Yeah, that's close.
about 6 months ago. So it is still somewhat active, and it does look like they are still investigating, which is encouraging. It really is. So they're still waiting for that to come back. This one won't be for a while, just because the coordination of 2 countries, along with other stuff going on with the case. They are moving forward, but they still need the solid info, meaning a signed statement. So I know there is someone out there who knows what happened and where our family is. Please help. I just want my family back. Come forward and speak. This is all I can say for now.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of stuff in here that a person could look through and get maybe a little bit more information from. But it's I don't know how I feel about putting it out publicly. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Well, she's keeping like hope alive, which is good. You know what I mean?
yeah, and she's keeping people talking about it, which is great. That's important. This is where the age progression images came out in 2020. So recently, a forensic artist with the Miami-Dade Police Department. Wow, my English is fabulous. You wouldn't know it's my only language, would you?
Mine's horrible too, so it's all right.
Thank you. I feel better.
Well, English is the hardest language.
Is it?
It is. They say it's
Well, then how come I can't learn any other language I've tried?
because we go from Latin and everything else. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
One of the hardest languages, they say.
So I'm going to try this one more time. Recently, a forensic artist with the Miami-Dade Police Department, Samantha Steinberg, created age progression images of all 4 members of the Jack family. These images were released through a private website, Unidentified Human Remains Canada. It is very important that the family remains in the hearts and minds of the public. The RCMP and the family are hopeful that these new images will inspire those with information about the disappearance to come forward and speak with investigators. Each age progression image is accompanied by the original image of Ronnie, Doreen, Russell, and Ryan. Ronald, partner Doreen, and children Russell and Ryan were last heard from at approximately 1:21 a.m. on Wednesday, August 2nd, 1989, when Ronnie called his mother in the Burns Lake area. Oh, maybe that's how they have precise times, because they would have phone records.
Oh, yeah, Joey. Didn't think of that.
That would be why. Duh, Tanya. Okay. It is believed that shortly after that phone call, the family departed their home in Strathcona Avenue in Prince George with an unknown male in a dark-colored 4x4 pickup. Although the family was expected to return in 10 days, they haven't been seen since. And then I thought the pictures were in here somewhere. And then there's the photos, which we've seen all that. But we'll look at it again because it's important. They kind of made this one look kind of angry. Anyway, so that is all of that we have there.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, PJ?
No, I just wanted to get their story out there because I know we did have a little bit of trouble, and then we ended up talking about what's it last week? Oh my God, what was his name? That guy.
Nathan chasing his horse.
Yes, we talked about him last week, so I figured we could, get back on this and
Yeah, I just wanted to get that out there because it's just really important to talk about that stuff with the Nathan chasing his horse.
yeah.
And
they
the
actually, there's more charges coming out and more people. I wanted to tell you that, and I forgot to tell you that.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I'll have to look at that, and then maybe we can look into that as part of next week's show. We can just do a quick little update at the end or something.
yeah, that'll be good because I did see that somewhere when I was doing something on the internet like I'm always doing. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I meant to look into that today, and I just didn't quite get there.
no, it's fine. I've been on YouTube almost all day long, so it's all right. I get it.
I know I kept trying to make it to your lives, but it was like, but I got my own stuff to do.
Right. Well, just a lot of things were coming up, so I just had to do them. So, but no, it's good that we got the Jack family out. So
Yeah,
hopefully get their names.
they are also part of the Highway of Tears, just to be clear, because this is my channel now. So PJ and I have been doing Highway of Tears on her channel, which I do have linked in the show notes. And so we've been sporadically over there covering different cases. And this is one of the cases from the Highway of Tears in British Columbia, just in case anyone hasn't seen those episodes.
Yeah. I'm actually probably going to add this video to the playlist so that it is like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So check out that playlist that PJ has over there for sure. If you're interested in the Highway of Tears from British Columbia that we've been covering, there's still lots and lots of cases left on the list.
Yes, lots to cover. But I think we covered everything with the Jack family. And if we need to, we can go back. I'm sure there's probably going to be something that comes up because there always is whenever someone covers something.
Yes, and from looking at the Facebook page, it does look like it's being actively investigated. So hopefully we will be coming back at some point with updates.
Yes.
And more information, because I've watched some of the interviews with the sisters, and you can see that it haunts them, and it's heartbreaking. It really is.
Yes, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? So
well, they are, but it's unfortunate that they have to,
Yeah.
But I've watched some interviews with both of the sisters, and they really are fighting hard for justice for their sister and her family, and I really hope that they get that. I really do. And if I can get their names and faces out there, I'm a small platform, but I still want to try to help what little I can.
Yes. Oh, hi, TJ.
Hi, TJ. Thank you so much. Happy to see you here, friend, and I hope you're well, or as well as you can be. I'm here if you need a friend. Love TJ. He's awesome.
Oh.
I had him on my channel before. He's an advocate for alienated parents. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's an awesome friend and an awesome supporter, and I appreciate everything he does. So to help people.
That's awesome.
So shout out to TJ. Shout out to Mel for everything she does. She's been wonderful. Cold Truth, thank you, and thank you for being here. If you're still here.
She does awesome stuff. All right, I'll let you go for the night, and it was nice meeting everybody, and it was nice seeing everybody in the chat. And I will keep sharing this out, and we will keep sharing cases.
Yes, we definitely will, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye.
Take care, everybody. Bye.